My name is Diana Johnson, and my daughter Sarah Johnson is a client of PHS. We're here to talk about some of the things that have helped us keep organized. It was very overwhelming. We had a small amount of supplies that started out, and then just as Sarah became more medically complex, we found that there were more and more things that we didn't expect that we found that we had to find a place for. I had to pull in the resources of my wonderful PCAs that helped me with that process, and working together with them, looking at in our house where could we find a spot where we could maybe open up a closet, put in some shelves, some bins to help kind of look at what do we have, what we don't have, and my PCAs were very instrumental in kind of taking that for me. I'm a nurse, and I knew that I needed to be more organized, but I didn't really know how and what we needed to do to make that happen. And so the unique background that Tiffany has as being a paramedic, she brought something to the table about, like, this is what we need. So why don't you explain why it was important, sure, and why I needed some help with that.
So when I started here, we'd have, Sarah was having seizures more frequently, and so we needed her emergency equipment on hand and ready quicker than how Mom had it set up. So, Mom had it before in just a bag, and it was kind of just a plethora of, here's all the stuff that we might need on a daily basis if something happens with Sarah. And I had just brought to the table, I'm like, why don't we think about having like a first in bag like I have at my previous job as a paramedic working on an ambulance. You get to a call and it's a seizure call, so the first thing you think of is, I need my first in bag because these meds are in there. This equipment is in there, I know it's there because I checked it this morning.
Okay, so this is the closet that we have designated in the house as our kind of main supply area. It's been kind of organized in a general sense by body systems. So, for example, up here we have pump bags because Sarah's tube fed, and there are times that I use the pump for her, and there's times that I use a gravity bag. And simply just because sometimes if she's at the kitchen table and she's coloring, I don't necessarily put it on a pump. I can let the gravity drip. So I can open this generally, and the nice thing about this is that these shelves come out. Medication and saline and heparin flush. Now this is very generalized, but pretty much you know that my medications are going to be in here, and we're very, very full right here. And I can pull this out, and you can see that heparin is back here, saline flushes are here, and then extra medications like some of Sarah's Versed, some of her Zofran, my extra rectal diazepams. These are all the places that you would find that. And maybe what I'll do is I'll jump over here. Oxygen supplies, really pretty much self-explanatory. I got my bubblers here. I do have some neb kits, some oxygen masks, probes. I mean, everything you need to find as far as respiratory is pretty much there. Going down, needles and syringes. I've got, any alcohol or chloroscrub. My IV sponges are in here, tape, Tegaderm. These got a little bit of sterile water. So, I mean, there is a little bit of mixing, like, well, I've got some room here, I'm going to put that in this drawer. And you can do that because you're the one that accesses this on a regular basis and you know where stuff is. So, Tiffany uses the PHS supply sheet in addition to one little notebook that she felt that was helpful for her to kind of track things a little bit. And so, because everybody has their own systems on how that helps them see patterns. For Tiffany, she wrote down month by month what exactly she ordered. And that's something that just kind of helped her see what she was doing. And then also, if Tiffany wasn't here and I had a question, hey, did you order this? I could go back and I could look and say, oh, yep, she did. It should be coming in a couple of days. And at the end of the day, I think being organized helps you manage, obviously, your inventory, but it is the most cost-effective way to manage all the different things that you have that, now whether you have MA or private insurance, you are still responsible for being a good steward. And if you're not a good steward, either you're paying for it yourself because you're not a good steward, or the state is assuming that, and that's not what you want to do, given the fact that we're blessed with such, wonderful resources at the state. Things are chaotic as it is when you've got a special needs child and you're trying to balance all the things in your life that are changing. And so if it's one more thing that is in line and not out of control and not cluttering your house, it's just overall good for not only for the organization of your house, but organization of your mind and the work that you have to do in front of you.